Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to be going over some older products that I think could still see some growth. And yes, I know we're starting with Steam Siege, but as always, I like to start out with the worst stuff and then kind of make my way towards stuff that I really do believe in. So Steam Siege is the first one on the list here. Around market prices around 550. I found these locally for 600 or 700-ish. I don't think it's the worst pickup. I know people hate Steam Siege, and I remember when this came out, I also hated it. I never wanted to open Steam Siege as a kid, but it does have some cool cards. It has the Mega Steelix, Mega Gardevoir. I actually really like the Secret. I didn't even know this card existed until recently, with the Yveltal in the background. And obviously, as Megas get more popular, these cards are going to keep shooting up, even though it's Steam Siege. And so for $500, that's the same price as some like Sword and Shield sets, right? And so for $500, you're able to buy into an XY set, maybe 600, right? It's a little more. You're buying into an XY set that is super old. We are now literally reaching Legends ZA, which is, you know, kind of a, not necessarily a sequel, but it feels like a sequel almost to X and Y. I think this actually has some room to grow, in my opinion. I wouldn't sleep on Steam Siege. Is it going to be your best performer of all time? No, but if you still have some Steam Siege, which is a weird thing to say, I would honestly keep holding. I don't think it's gonna really go down. I think the set is not horrible. Like, this Mega Steelix is actually pretty cool. Mega Gardevoir, as I said. Now the rest of the set, it sucks. Honestly, not the worst break cards. I think this Hydreigon and Xerneas break cards are cool, but I know not everyone is a big fan of them. But yeah, the set is kind of known for being trash, unfortunately. It's definitely one of the it is probably the worst XY set. But again, guys, as things get older, they always go up in value. It doesn't really matter, so interesting pickup. Next on the list, we have Sun and Moon base. Again, not my favorite pickup, but I don't think it's the worst base set we've gotten. Now, I'm pretty sure it was printed decently heavily because it came right after Evolutions, so I'm guessing that the printers were probably still hot. Although, there's no way they printed more than Evolutions. That thing was insanely printed. But for a base set, it's actually pretty good in my eyes. You have a Lily card. The PSA 10 of this is decently expensive, around $300, $400. Umbreon GX Rainbow Rare. Again, this is a pretty good card. Espeon Rainbow Rare. If they ever bring back Rainbow Rares, maybe this could see a price jump in the future. I think in terms of base sets, this is actually not the worst. I would even say it's better than Black and White base. It's better than XY base, in my opinion. I think Sun and Moon base is more solid than people give it credit for. But I also understand if you wouldn't want to, you know, dump money into this just because it is kind of a trash set. The total set value is equal to the booster box right now. So, you know, at this point, you're really only buying in because it's old and it's starting to get more scarce. Unfortunately, I don't think Sun and Moon is going to be making huge moves, but, you know, the theme of this video is more older stuff. So, I still think this is not the worst pickup in the world. It's not going to go down. Next, we have Evolutions. Now, this set was printed into the ground, but I think these ETBs could actually make a comeback once, you know, Megas are reintroduced. Obviously, I think they're definitely going to be making a Mega Charizard and Mega Blastoise kind of set or something with the Kanto starters, because all of them have Megas. I could definitely see that happening. I mean, Mega Venusaur is already making a comeback, right, in the new Mega Evolution base set, so I could see these guys coming back, and so these ETBs might end up seeing some decent moves. And just looking at the set list, like, this is a pretty iconic set. You have all the Megas. You also have reprints of the original, you know, kind of base set Charizard. And just for that reason, I think a lot of people are going to rip Evolutions in the future, because at a certain point, even Unlimited is going to get hard to find in the wild, and it's going to get too expensive to rip to chase Charizards. Everyone loves the Charizard. At some point, like, let's say 5 to 10 years down the line, I think people are going to look at Evolutions as the next best thing to pull a Charizard that is vintage from. So Evolutions ETBs are not a bad investment. They also display very well. They're very cool. You have the Blastoise and Charizard one. Not my favorite set. I'm not a big Evolutions guy. I remember ripping a lot of it, and I don't have much nostalgia for these. I know that might be a crime against humanity. You know, sue me. I'm I'm under the age of 30, so I just don't have nostalgia for like base set. I wasn't alive then, but I still think, you know, it's a decent set. You have some cool chases. I actually have this Mega Venusaur graded in a 10. My childhood, you know, Venusaur. Um, Definitely never gonna sell that, but very nice to just have in my collection. But yeah, I think Evolution's not a bad investment. Now let's get into the top three, starting with celebrations. Now, of course, I'm going with the Pokemon Center version. If you don't know, Pokemon Center versions of ETBs started with the Sword and Shield era, and yeah, this is kind of a no-brainer pickup. You can already see the price has been shooting up recently, and I bought a few weeks ago, which I'm kind of thankful for. I think I bought around for 200. Um, have that in my PCETB collection. As you guys know, I'm collecting every single PCETB. Once I get the black and white, I will have every single PCETB. Super excited for that, and I kind of want to make a video just kind of commemorating that, showing you guys what every single PCETB looks like. But if you're gonna get into celebrations, I think now is a good time before the 30th anniversary hits. They inevitably will make another, you know, celebrations kind of anniversary set. They always do. They only make them once a year, every 5 years. So I think this is a good pickup. Like, I don't really see a reason why you wouldn't want to pick it up. I believe you do get the Greninja Gold Star in here, and yeah, I just don't see a reason not to buy this. Now it would have been much better if you bought a long time ago. Unfortunately, I think I pointed this out a while ago, but you know, obviously everyone else is also looking at this. I still think this has room to grow, probably to like 500 to 600 by when 2026 starts. I could see that happening, or even when the next celebrations kind of, you know, collection is announced for the 30th anniversary. I can definitely see this shooting up even more. But yeah, the only thing really holding back celebrations, I think, is the set list. Not my favorite. I mean, you have the Umbreon Gold Star reprint, you do have the Charizard reprint, and like, I do think that, you know, it's nice to have those reprints to, like, you know, have collectors, give collectors a cheaper option for cards that are super iconic. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of the stamp. I think the stamp looks a little goofy. I also think they could have chosen some better cards. I mean, obviously Charizard and Umbreon are cool. Shining Magikarp as well. But yeah, ultimately, I'm not the hugest fan of the set. I don't think it's very deep at all. And also, it's very easy to complete the set. There's just not many cards in it. An interesting product is the Ultra Premium Collection for celebrations. This could be a good pickup. I believe you get like a gold card of Pikachu and Charizard. Kind of crazy. They're metal cards. I'm pretty sure PSA stopped grading them or something like that. So I don't know if they're worth buying into, but this could be an interesting buy. Personally, I would just stick with the PCETV, but yeah, definitely go for whatever you think is good here. I think anything celebrations, you're gonna do fine in the next year. Just don't wait too long when buying into something that's like an anniversary set, because they're gonna see the most growth when another anniversary comes around. Honestly, after the 30th anniversary, if this celebrations stuff, if my stuff reaches new highs, I bought a regular ETB, I'm probably gonna sell that. I'll probably just keep the PC ETB because I'm planning on keeping these PC ETBs for a long time, but the regular ETBs, I'm going to sell. I'm not a huge celebrations guy in general. But that's third place. Second place is going to go to Hidden Fates ETBs. And you might be telling me, like, dude, these have run up an insane amount. The glass birds are super popular. They're so hyper shield. Everyone wants them. Well, yes, that is true. And are they going to price correct? Is the glass birds going to price correct as a card? Probably. It's probably going to come down a good amount. But that doesn't mean that the sealed is going to drop a ton as well. Like, it's been down in the dumps for a very long time. You had plenty of opportunities to buy Hidden Fates. I never bought Hidden Fates just because, I don't know, I think I was just too focused on Modern. And that's kind of like a shortcoming of someone who just recently got back into the hobby, right? I don't have all the answers. I'm not going to claim to. I don't know what is always going to happen. These are just my predictions. But I could still see Hidden Fates moving more in the future. I mean, I think people kind of realize how iconic of a promo that is. The box looks very good to display. Not to mention, the set list is actually really good. I think this Jesse and James card is still undervalued. You have some of the most iconic shinies in all of Pokemon. You have an amazing Cynthia card with a shiny Lucario. That might be a shiny Garchomp. There's no way of knowing because they look way too similar in my eyes. Yeah, this set is like, it's really good. It's stacked. You have the tag team of all the 3 legendary birds. I really like this Guzma card. Yeah, this set is Omega stacked. Really high set value, great cards, great promo, great ETB. I still think this is a good buy, in my opinion. But the number one product, in my mind, has to go to Shining Legends ETBs. Now, these have seen some pretty decent growth recently, but there's just not a lot of them left. I wish I bought one. I went to a card show recently and I saw it for $4.90. I was really considering picking it up. I just didn't, and it looks like it's already moved a bit in the time that I decided not to buy it. Looks like all the current TCG player listings are around 600, but I think the price is still probably around 500. You can probably find it locally for 500. Shining Legends, guys, if you don't know, has the Mewtwo. This is going to go down as one of the most iconic cards in Pokemon history. It might look kind of whatever in just this picture, but in real life, it looks beautiful. I mean, the texture on it is just so nice. I really do think that Mewtwo is going to retain its value, and this total set value kind of lies to you. Because yes, this raw card is $300, but the PSA 10 is $3,000, right? And so people are going to keep ripping Shining Legends. Actually, a $500 ETB is not that much farther from Hidden Fates. And the promo you get, I believe, is the Shining Ho-Oh, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it's in the set list, but I could even see these Shining cards, Shining Mew and Shining Rayquaza, becoming more popular in the future, and maybe even that Shining Ho-Oh will see some, some interest later down the road as a promo. But ultimately, I think Shining Legends is a really, really good set. Not necessarily because of its depth, but because it has that chase card that really just changes everything. I still think the ETBs probably have some decent room to grow. I could see this being $1,000 ETB at some point in the future, maybe a year or two down the road. We'll see. Over the last year, it's pumped up around, what, $200? Yeah. So not bad gains over the year. And yeah, it looks like this Mewtwo is kind of here to stay as a iconic vintage card. I think people are starting to really like get used to this price point. And it looks great. Like, I think it's a really cool throwback. Almost reminds me of the Mewtwo movie. If you guys watched, the first ever Pokemon movie. And so those are some older products that I think might still have some room to grow. What do you guys think? Is there anything I missed? Are there any cool older products that maybe still have some room to grow that are, priced similarly to Scarlet and Violet sets and Sword and Shield sets? Kind of crazy to think that stuff that are like 2 or 3 eras behind still haven't caught up to the prices of Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet. But maybe that's just a testament to how strong the current modern eras of Pokemon are. Maybe it's just safer to keep investing in modern because it does seem to be like some of the best stuff we've ever gotten. Illustration rares have changed the game. If you haven't seen that video that I made about illustration rares being better chase cards than special illustration rares, definitely go check that out. But yeah, I think these could see some future growth. But ultimately, let me know what you guys think. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you guys later.